So draw a table for all pairs of states P, Q, where P should be final state and Q should be non-final state. That means we have to mark all the pairs where one state should be final and one state should be non-final. If both are final, we can't mark. If both are non-final, we can't mark. If there are unmarked pairs P, Q such that delta transition of P of X and delta transition of Qx is marked, then we can mark PQ, where X is the input symbol, and repeat this until no more marking can be done. Combine all unmarked pair and make them a single state. Minimize DFA. That means we have to keep on trying till all the states mark. If finally after doing all the marking, if some leftover unpaired marks will be there, that we will be making as a single state and we will be minimizing a DFA. Okay, so we'll see with the problem. So here we have a minimization of the following DFA using a table filling method. So here this is a given DFA. We have to minimize, for this state diagram we have to minimize the DFA. So here solution we have, then step 1 is, so we need to draw a table for this. Okay, so in NFA DFA we will be having inputs, number of inputs, number of states. Here we will be having both sides states only. Okay, A, B, C, D, E, total 5 states are there. Here we will again mark the states A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so how we will draw this diagram? We will draw as this table we will consider from B, that is we will take only the half part of the table, because even if we consider the full table it will be no use. For example even I am taking these things. Okay, I am taking these all full complete table. Okay, then what will be the condition? A on A, again B on A and A on B will be having same input. See, for A on B we will get the same input and B on A will get the same input. So what we are doing, we are neglecting this part of table. So we will leave off the first two states and we will leave off the E, E for last two states. So we will consider only this part. Okay, now we have to mark the states. So B, A, any one of the conditions should be final state and one should be non-final, then only we can mark here. Okay, so this we have to mark. B on A, whether B is a final state? No. A is a final state? No. So we will not mark this. Okay, next C on A, C is a final state? No. C is a non-final state. Whether A is a final state? No. It is also a non-final state. So when both are non-final state, we can't mark here. Okay, next C on B. Okay, C on B, C is also non-final state, B is also non-final state. We will leave this as it is again. D on A, D is also non-final state, A is also non-final state. D, B, so here both are non-final state, so we will leave off. D, C, so both are non-final state. So here E, A, E is a final state, A is a non-final state, so we will mark this. E, B, so E is a final state and B is non-final state, so we will mark this. E, C, so E is a final state and C is a non-final state, we will mark this. E, D, so E is the final state and D is non-final state, we will mark this. Okay, so this is our first step. Now in step 2, we have to check for all unmarked pair. Okay, all unmarked pairs. So unmarked pair, we will start from here, B and A. Okay, so first, so BA is a unmarked pair. Okay, so we'll check delta transition of B on 0 and delta transition of A on 0 and delta transition of B on 1 and delta transition of A on 1. So if any condition is matching, we have to mark it. Okay, first we will check B on 0, it is going to B itself, and A on 0, it is going to B. Next, B on 1, it is going to D. A on 1, it is going to C. See here, no condition is marked, so we will not mark this anything. Okay, so next unmarked pair is C, that is C comma A. Okay, so now C on A, it is going, so we have to check C delta transition of C on 0 and delta transition of A on 0. So C on 0, it is going to B. A on 0, it is going to B. And delta transition of C on 1 and delta transition of A on 1. Okay, so C on 1, it is going to C, A on 1 also it is going to C. See here also no condition is matching. So if either of these two values if already marked in this table, then we can mark. If no condition is marked, we can't do anything. So we'll solve for remaining box, we will see. So next we have C comma B. Okay, so C comma B, C B. So we will be seeing delta transition of C on 0 and delta transition of B on 0, and we will be seeing delta transition of C on 1 and delta transition of B on 1. Okay, so C on 0, where it is going? It is going to B. B on 0, it is going to B itself. C on 1, it is going to C, and B on 1, it is going to D. Whether DC is marked in this table, see DC, it is not marked, so we will not do anything. Okay, so next we have D on A. This is also unmarked pair, so we will check for delta transition of D on 0 and delta transition of A on 0 and delta transition of delta transition of D on 1 and delta transition of A on 1. So here D on 0, where it is going? It is going to B. A on 0, it is going to B. And delta transition of 0 comma 1. So 0 on delta transition of D on 1, it is going to E. And delta transition of A on 1, it is going to C. See here, D on 1, it is going to E, and A on 1, it is going to C. Whether EC is marked, we need to check here. EC, this C. EC, it is marked. So EC is marked. Okay, EC is marked. Since EC is marked, so we can mark D comma A. Okay, so we can mark D comma A here. Okay, so next we will be checking for DB. This box is also unmarked, we will check for that. So delta transition of D on 0, delta transition of B on 0, and delta transition of D on 1 and delta transition of B on 1. So D on 0, it is going to B. B on 0, it is going to B. D on 1, it is going to E. and B on 1 it is going to D. We have to check whether ED is marked. So ED is marked. Okay, ED is marked. Since ED is marked, so we can mark DB. Okay, so we can mark this DB. So next we will be checking for DC, this box. So delta transition of D on 0 and delta transition of C on 0. D on 0 it is going to B, C on 0 it is going to B. Delta transition of D on 1 and delta transition of C on 1. D on 1 it is going to E, C on 1 it is going to itself. We have to check whether EC or BB, any one of the condition is there. BB is not marked, we know. Since EC is marked, see EC is marked, so EC is marked. Since EC is marked, so we can mark DC. Okay. So now how the transition table will. So again we will draw the transition table for getting clarity. A, B, C, D. This is one iteration. Okay. Again if some remaining boxes are unmarked, then we will again do the, sorry, this table is not there. So from here we will be having okay. So we know that these things are already marked. Okay, we will mark as it is. Now we have got EC is marked and we have got ED is marked, so we are marking DB and DC. Okay, DA, DB, DC we will mark. Okay, we will mark DA, DB. So we are marking DA, DB, DC. Okay, so we have to again check for the leftover unmarked boxes BA, CA, CB. Okay, we'll check again for this. So the after that box we have drawn the unmarked pairs at BA, CA, CB. So we will check again for this. This is, we can say, second iteration. Okay, second iteration. So delta transition of B on 0 and delta transition of A on 0. So B on 0 it is going to itself, A on 0 it is going to B, and delta transition of B on 1 and delta transition of A on 1. So B on 1 it is going to D and A on 1 it is going to C. So we have to check whether BB or DC is marked. Okay, so here we have drawn this table, right? So now we have to check BB is not marked and BB we don't have that condition itself. So DC is marked. Okay, so DC is marked. DC is marked. Since DC is marked, so we can mark BA. Okay, next CA. So delta transition of C on 0 and delta transition of A on 0. C on 0 it is going to B, A on 0 it is going to B, and next delta transition of C on 1 and delta transition of A on 1. So C on 1 it is going to C, A on 1 it is going to C. Since BB and CC both are not present in the table itself, so we should not leave this CA unmarked only. Next delta transition of C on 0 and delta transition of B on 0. C on 0 it is going to B. B on 0 it is itself. Delta transition of C on 1 and delta transition of B on 1. C on 1 it is going to itself. B on 1 it is going to D. Okay. So here CD is marked. So here we can see CD or DC is similar. So we can say since CD is marked, so we can mark C comma B. Okay. So we'll draw the final table for this. D, E, A, B, C, D, E. So we are leaving off this EEA. So we already known that this E was first thing we got from this starting diagram only. Then we got this D related DA, DB, DC, everything was marked. Okay. So we'll mark it as it is. And next, so next we from this iteration 2 we got that BA we can mark. So we'll mark BA and we can also mark CB. Okay. So now leftover is this. Even if we do, we won't get the iteration. Okay. So how the state diagram we can draw for this? So the state diagram can be, so we know that step 4 we can write. Since AC is unmarked, so we can consider AC has single state. Okay. Okay, we will take this AC has a single state. So we will take this complete AC. Okay, this part of AC we will take as one state. So we'll draw a diagram. AC, other state will be similar. B state will be as it is. D state will be as it is. And E state will be as it is, and this is the final state. So we'll draw the state diagram, and this is start state. A on 0 and C on 0. See, A on 0 is also going B, C on 0 is also going B. So we will say 0 it is going to B. A on 1 it is going to C, C on 1 it is going to itself. So we will say it is going to itself. AC on 1 it is going to itself. And B on 0 it is going to itself. B on 1 it is going to D. Sorry, D on 1 it is going to D. And D on 0 it is going to B. D on 1 it is going to E. E on 0 it is going to B. E on 1 it is going to C. That means it will go to AC because AC is a single state. So this is a final state diagram. I hope you understood. Thank you.